Hello, my name is Zach Rye with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another episode of What Does It Need? This episode is going to be a little bit difficult for me because I've been trying to kind of vary what I'm doing, right? First episode, I did something very clickbaity, something that's very in the zeitgeist, something that I had just really started playing. Second one I did was a long running forever game for me. The third one I did is a game that I've put down. And now I'm looking at a game that is literally a game that is my game of the year for last year and potentially this year. And that is Absolum. So we're going to talk about what does Absolum need. And this one's super challenging, like I said. So I don't know if it actually made it into there or not on the Horrible Game Awards. We do a Horrible Game Awards every year on this channel. And I do believe I picked Absolum in like 3 different categories last year. I think it only got in music, but because there was more nominations for other stuff. But this game speaks to me. I can play this game anytime and it makes me happy. I just love Absolum. That being said, Absolum is a roguelite kind of 2D brawler beat 'em up. You get to pick 4 characters. There are 2 characters to start with, and then you unlock the other 2 through story and redoing it. One of the best things about Absolum is it tells this story as you go through it, and it also gives you the choices on a map. So things are procedurally generated, but you're still kind of going to the same kind of locations, which makes the game very, very interesting to me. It's kind of the perfect balance of roguelite versus like actually choosing what you're doing in strategy. I think also it really helps you like go for this story instead of the main plot, or go to try and find this boss. There's a lot of hidden secrets in the game as well. And I think I actually have 100% achievements on that, which I can right off the bat say I don't think I achieved that ever in a game. It's just how much I love this game. We also have a show. It has been on hiatus for a bit where myself and Neil, aka Tiny Wizard, play it together. I just love this game. So now I've got to trying to find what it needs. It recently got an update, which is, I believe, called Sons of Talum, Children of Talum, something like that. And they added a lot of replayability to it with ordeals. They are these customizable things that you can, like modifiers you can put on runs, and also runs themselves that are already pre-programmed in that you unlock as you do more crazy runs. I think it's really cool. It gives it a lot of playability. Anytime I go in, I can try a new ordeal and have a lot of fun, and that's one of the best things. I think that 2D brawlers needed to evolve if they're going to exist nowadays, which I want them to. I love them. One of the things that this one did is just give you that replayability. So what does it need? And I've been putting a lot of thought into this. Because I really wanted to do Absolum because it's a game I play a lot. But what does it need? So here's what I think it needs. I think the next DLC needs to be a story-based DLC, but it doesn't change the overall story, and it adds 2 new characters. I also hope that they're completely and totally fresh characters. One of the things about this game that's cool is the 4 different characters. They're very cool, but there's only 4 of them, and you only get 2 to start, and then you have to unlock the other 2. I think that's what they should do with the DLC. At first, I hated the fact that I couldn't play just the character that I thought looked the coolest from the trailer. But I like that they slowly told their stories through the game, so that when I unlocked them, I actually felt more appreciative of it. Plus, one thing that you realize from playing this game is to get the full story, you really have to do the runs with all the different characters. You can't just pick one character and do it. They all have their own like individual quest lines and individual things that they've got to accomplish throughout the course of redoing this run over and over again. So what I would love to do is have them add in 2 new characters, and then the DLC storyline stuff, content can be them. It can be finding them. It can be then recruiting them, just like with Brome and Cider. And then you can play them and they can have their own individual kind of like story mission, much like the other four. All the four characters have an independent mission that if you play them enough times and then you pick somebody else, you talk to them and then they say they have their own goal. Galandra has one to actually become a Spectral Knight. He's my favorite character, can't remember his name, but the dwarf actually has one where he wants to bring the dwarves back, because he's like the last one that's not corrupted. Brome needs to find his kids. They all have their own like individual mission that then you have to move through the map in a certain way to kind of resolve that storyline. I think that is a great way to do extra content for this game without necessarily doing an entire another story or an entire another island. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see both of those things. But I think for simplicity's sake, I think we should get 2 new characters, and those characters should be introduced via storyline. What I would really love to see is they can even be characters from in the game, but they have to be sideline. I don't want the Pirate Queen as a playable character. She's way too cool as a companion and sometimes boss, and this kind of like against you, not against you thing. I know a lot of people have wanted the Pirate Queen as a playable character. I don't want it. I think she's so cool in the role she plays in the game already. But the I think the Maolai kind of assassin that you find and meet would be a really cool one. I think that the axolotl boss that survives the two sisters encounter would be a really cool one. Personally, I'd like to see 2 completely new characters, though. I'd like to see what they cook up from absolute scratch. I think that would be really, really cool and really, really interesting. I think there are some spots that we could really find something new and interesting to do as well. I think also there are a lot of roles that are filled, but you could very easily do some new things, like a big brutish tank grappler would be really cool. Some sort of berserker would be awesome. I would love to see something like that. And this does not mean that they have to completely redraw their sprites. They could use like a null, for instance, the character, like the nulls are in the game. You could use a null, make a couple of little changes to it, and make a character out of that. That would be really cool and interesting. You could even take a skeleton or an undead character from that world and kind of do something interesting with it. I think there's a lot of things that they could do that make it easy for themselves to make some cool DLC without necessarily going crazy overboard on the work. So that's where we are. Absolum. It is it's going to be a forever game for me. I love the game. This is what I think it means, if anything. It was very hard because it's a perfect game. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. These 4 games were the ones that really stood out to me. So we'll have to see. But I hope you guys are enjoying this show. I am working on some reviews right now. Please check them out if they're not up already. The Nitrogen Omega re-review, now that it's a 1.0, and Mad King Redemption, I believe, will have been out by now, and I'll be able to review it. So hopefully I get to see those with you guys. And as far as it goes, as long as you guys keep watching and listening, I'll keep making them. If you guys have anything to say, let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later.